down that straightaway, and now it's not a two-way battle for the win, possibly. Down the long con straightaway. Not gonna make a move. The 17 of Derek Jones, first career win. He was like, fastest lap of the race was stop. Look at this racing. Really tight racing for position number 3. A lot of playoff drivers trying to punch their ticket. Marina's 4 points back. Simsler's 13. Her second road course race win of the season in just 2 races. The green flag is in the air, Charlotte. A huge jump for the 88 and everyone else on that inside line. 42, his best qualifying run of the season, goes from 2nd to 3rd in just the trial. And look at the run for the 4 of Ethan Hansen coming in. First time we've seen that today. Welcome to Gateway Motorsports Park for the second of 3 races in the round of 8 here at this 1.25 mile egg-shaped oval. Today we had racing into a track right near St. Louis, Missouri, just a few miles from the Gateway Arch, hence the name Gateway Motorsports Park. Today drivers will face a track very similar to Darlington, just less banked and a little bit shorter, with turns 1 and 2 being short and banked, and turn 3 being a very long flat turn, almost like turns 1 and 2 at Phoenix. Today we'll get a really good look at what drivers are going to have a really good shot at the Final Four and what drivers are going to have a really bad shot. Next we'll look at some race information, the drivers to watch for, and then we'll go to the green flag at Gateway. Gateway Motorsports Park, a 1.25 mile egg-shaped oval. Turn 1 is banked 9 degrees, or 11 degrees. Turns 3 and 4 are banked 9 degrees, and both straightaways are perfectly flat with 0 degrees of banking. The race will be 60 laps around this 1.25 mile oval, and now let's take a look at some drivers to watch for. The 20 of JC Colagiovanni, he won the last race of the round of 10 at Charlotte and has finished in the top 10 last time at Auto Club. He's been very fast these last couple of races. He has 2 wins on the season. Look out for the 20 to be fast today. He's going off in position number 2. He's rolling off in position number 6. He was the fastest car in practice. Look out for the 19 of Addison Stone to be quick today here at Gateway. Now, let's go trackside for the green flag and the command to start the engines. We are all set for the command. It's 87 degrees and windy today.
Drivers, start your engines.
The command has been fired to fire the engines. It's 87 degrees with 12-mile-an-hour winds. We are ready to go around Gateway Motorsports Park, the 1.25 mile egg-shaped oval for 60 laps here today, as the pace car will lead Ethan Hansen and JC Colagiovanni around the track, and the rest of the field will follow them. First pole in a long time for this 4. He doesn't have a win this year. That is the reason why he's not racing for a championship. He's probably the best driver without a win. And we'll see if he can even get, even though it won't do much more in the standings, we'll see if he can grab win number 1 of the season here today at Gateway. As the pace car leads the field into turns 3 and 4, we are ready to go for 60 laps today here in St. Louis, Missouri. As the pace car leads the field off of turn number 4. We are all set, and we are ready to go here at Gateway Motorsports Park. As the pace car is in the pits, the green flag is in the air. We are underway at Gateway. Both cars got a very equal jump as they come into turn number 1. Now look at the run on the top for the 20. That'll be a very different story in turns 3 and 4, though. It's a lot sharper. As they come down the back straightaway for the first time, they're side by side for the lead into turns 3 and 4. Turn 3, that long, flat, sweeping, they work their way off of turn number 4. The 4 of Ethan Hansen's going to lead lap number 1. As you see, they're 3 wide back there. As they cross the stripe, that'll be the 4 leading lap number 1, and the yellow flag is out early, and we have big trouble on the front straightaway. Multiple cars wrecking there early at Gateway, and for the third race in the playoffs, we have a wreck on lap number 1. Oh yeah, take another look at that. The 15 got turned by the 33 up into the wall and took out a bunch of cars with them. Oh, big hit for the 43. About 7 or 8 cars took damage in that. We'll take another look at it. From the trackside camera, and big hit for the 15. We'll go on board with the 43. We had a hard hit into the inside wall, and he was just there and got unfortunate. Here's that roof cam for the 43. See what happened to him. Here you see the hit, and then the 2. Actually, he hit the wall trying to avoid the wreck. So a big hit for that 43, and his day is actually still in the pits. And it looks like 1, 2, 3 drivers retired from the race due to that accident, and the 4 of Ethan Hansen was out front at the time of the yellow flag. So the 4 and then the 20, we went yellow here early at Gateway. Hopefully that's not a sign of multiple cautions, as actually 4 drivers are out of the race. Lap 5 out of 60, the pace car lights are off. The 20 actually went into the front, and now they're going to line up double file. The 4 of Ethan Hansen will line up on the top. We're 2 by 2 here at Gateway. We are ready to go here for a double file restart. The 20 in the 4 lead them back into the restart zone. It'll be lap 6 out of 60, and the green flag will be back in the air at Gateway. As the field gets to the stripe, we are back underway at Gateway. Green flag is back in the air. Can we go a lap without wrecking this time? Into turn number 1. The 20 and the 5. Now the 20 is going to get the jump in. It's going to clear the 4 down the back straightaway. We had a big caution on lap number 1. We are back underway down the back straightaway. The 20 is going to lead them into turns 3 and 4. Turn 3 and 4 is where the caution on lap number 1 happened. Let's see if the field can stay clean this time. And they are able to make it through turn 3 and 4 this time by. They are going to go a lap under green. Right now the 20 of JC Cologiovanni, who finished top 10 last week, won at Charlotte, leads over the 5 of Ben Hemmer. Then Ethan Hansen, our pole sitter, back in 3rd. Addison Stone went from 6th to 5th to start the race today. As it's the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about to be 8 cars were single file. The pace car is still in the pits, so they are green here still at Gateway as they cross the stripe to make it lap 8 out of 60. Good run for the 3. He's been stringing together some good races lately. He's in 4th. That's the 3 of Jake Hemmer. And now a big run for the 11 of Kelsey Hemmer, his sister, up the inside. And is going to easily complete the pass for 4th. Now down the back straightaway, here's something we don't see often. Grayson Getz is struggling back here, running in position number 11, although he just passed the 88 for 10th. And they're going to actually be 3 wide there for a minute. And that'll be position number 10 for the 18. And everyone in the top 10 is single file right now, except for this little battle here. Good racing for 3rd up front. The 11's trying to get by the 4. Three wide down the back straightaway here for the 19, the 3, and the 48. This is for position number 6. Now the 24 is going to take a look to the inside. They might go 4 wide through turns 3 and 4. The 3 is going to settle down. Instead, they'll go 2 by 2. We've reached lap 10 out of 60. The 20 is leading, but the 5 is starting to run them down. And then it's a big gap back to the 11. Side by side for position number 3, and I think the 11 is going to be able to get them here. And maybe Ethan Hansen will lose another spot. The 11 is in the playoffs, so is the 20. The 19 is in, the 24 is in, Getz is in obviously, the 88 got eliminated. 31 is in. So across the stripe, lap 10 out of 60 was completed. We're a sixth of the way done here at Gateway. Right now, the 20 is leading the way with the 5 of Ben Hemmer right behind him. It's a big gap from that 5 back to the 11. Let's go on board with the 11 just to show you how big the gap really is. Look how far it is from second back to third. And this 11 is starting to break away actually from fourth place. So right now the fastest lap of the race, a 33.609 by the 5 of Ben Hemmer, who continues to slowly close the gap on the 20. Down the back straightaway, the 20 has the lead. The 11 is starting to close in on these top 2 drivers. As you see them work their way through turns 3 and 4. Side by side for position number 4, Ethan Hansen is losing spots after starting back on the pole. And the 3 might try to double him up here, and he's actually going to go way up the track, almost thought about trying to pass up on the top. And now Addison Stone, who started back in position number 6, he just ran his fastest lap of the race, but he is back in position number 7. He lost 2 spots to the 48 and the 3. The 48, one of the fastest cars so far today, is now the 3 is trying to get by the 4. The 4 continuing to lose spots. This would put him back in 6th if the 3 got by him, and then it's the 19 of Addison Stone up next to get by the 4. Right now the 18, Grayson Getz, he's running in position number 10. He's having a solid day. Actually up in the 9th now, the 31. Actually, the 88 was in 10th, but he has dropped like a rock on the top. He's lost a couple spots up there. As back up front, the 20 rebuilt the lead he had a couple laps ago. Here's an aerial view. It's about 5 or 6 car lengths from the 20 back to the 5, and a big run for the 20 down the straightaway. He's going to build his lead even more, up to 65 hundredths of a second that time. But the 11 is closing in. Just turned one of the fastest laps of the race. A big wreck on lap number 1 took out 4 drivers. Those drivers were Mason Simser, who's in the playoffs. He's going to be way back below the cut line. He was below the cut line. Toby Stone, Luca Marina, another driver who was already below the cut line. Both of those drivers will probably be in a must-win situation next race. And then the 47 of Lucas Hansen. So right now, 2 of the playoff drivers are out of this race, and both of them will most likely be in a must-win situation when we go to the next race to finish the round of 8. There's only 3 races left this season, counting this one. This spring season has flown by, but more racing action will happen in the summer. This was the winter-spring season. Then we'll start the 2023 summer-fall season before starting the 2024 winter-spring season. And the 11 has slowly but surely has crept up to the back bumper of the 5. See if he can get by for second. She's been very fast in this clean air, but now is going to lose that clean air. As you can see, other than that first caution, I was literally talking about it before. This has not been the most exciting race it was expected. With this, the layout of this track is, I don't think there's any side-by-side racing on the track right now other than this battle for 23rd between the 17 of Derek Jones and Isaiah McGlinty. Now as they work their way onto the front straight, there looks like a little bit of contact there between the 2 of them. Almost saw the debris go flying in turn number 3, and there was definitely contact there. So we can get a better look at it. We'll go on board with the 7. Just see that quick. No contact, but had to check up. As they work their way down the straightaway, up front is the 20 of JC Giovanni, but the 11 all over the back bumper of the 5. It's lap 19 out of 60 here at Gateway. In miles, this isn't longer than Charlotte, but in actual time to finish the race, just because of how much slower it is than Charlotte, it'll probably take longer. Lap 19 out of 60 down the back straightaway. Let's see if the 11 and the 5 can get something going to try to catch up to this very fast 20 car who's trying to get his second win in the last 3 races. Across the stripe, and we are a third of the way done here at Gateway. Here comes the 11. Side by side for 6th. And the 19 is going to easily drive by the 4. And Grayson Getz just came out of nowhere too. He's up in the 8th. He's going to try to make it for 7th if he can get by the 4 here. The 4 started on the pole and has just slowly but surely dropped back through the pack. And now the 18 is going to get a little bit of a freight train put on him here on that top lane. Bumper to bumper, the 14 and the 88 racing for 10th. The 88 missed the cut line after blowing an engine at Charlotte. Did you see that, Addison? That the 88 blew an engine at the end of the race and missed the next round of the playoffs because of it?
Yeah, that's excellent.
Stinks for that 88 team, Adam Hemmer. He was actually 4th in points going into that race. He was one of the fastest cars all season long, but didn't get those extra points for winning. He was most consistent driver other than Grayson Getz probably. Didn't get as many wins as you like, because those wins give you those special playoff points, which are basically bonus points that you get in the playoffs. And he missed the playoff cut because he blew an engine with 3 laps to go at Charlotte, and it took him out of the playoffs. And this 20 car won that. And then we saw the 41 of Will Hansen get his first career win over at Auto Club. Last time he currently runs in position number 13, 6 seconds off the lead. Is the 41 who won last race. Let's check in on him. He's kind of all on his own. He's in between a really tight battle for 11th and the 42 of Gavin Alabrandi, who actually started on the pole not too long ago. He's been starting to heat up a little bit lately in that target, number 42, and we have trouble again. The yellow flag is back out. There is smoke, but I don't see any cars in trouble. It's our second caution of the day here at Gateway. It's lap 23 out of 60, and it looks like the 6 of Michael Mall lost a lot of spots. Let's see if it was him. And it was the 6. Him and the 21 were racing for 20th. The 21 just got to his bumper, spun him around into the inside wall, and that would be our second caution of the day. So a 1-car crash at Gateway in the exact same spot the wreck on lap number 1 happened, and the entire field is coming down pit road, meaning it's going to be a 2-stop race today. And look how narrow pit road here is at Gateway. Only 22 feet wide. Only know that because the NASCAR Cup Series was racing there earlier today on live TV, and they said that. So, fun fact about the track, it's the narrowest pit road on the schedule. As it looks like the entire field pitted, all 31 of cars that didn't wreck out of the race on lap number 1. You can see the 6 is still in the race, but you can see how many cars are damaged from that caution. Just because 4 cars are out of the race doesn't mean it was only a 4-car wreck, and the 20 is going to win the race off pit road, and the 11 is going to beat the 5 off pit road. Gatz is going to get by the 24 off pit road too. So it's lap 24 out of 60. JC Colagiovanni has dominated, but the 11 has been fast. When we come back to green, we'll see if the 11 can get a jump on the restart once again. We have a mod that lets them start 2x2. Pace car lights are off. Here they go. They're going to line up double wide. It's going to be our 3rd green flag run of the day. It'll be lap 27 out of 60 when we go. The pace car leads them through turns 3 and 4. The green flag will be back out in the air here at Gateway. There was a restart wreck in turn 3 and 4 at the start of the race. Then we had a big green flag run that just ended with that spin. Let's see if they can make it through turn 3 this time. Through turns 1 and 2. The 20 and the 11. And down the back straight with a 7. Way down the track, but is able to get back on without any trouble. Almost made it 4 wide down that back straightaway. Look at a terrible pit stop for the 88. His bad day just keeps getting worse. Same with the 31. They've been a lot of trouble in turns 3 and 4, but they're going to get through it again. Up front, let's see how the 11 did. Did not get the jump, and the 20 drove away again. Looking through the field, you can see where everyone lines up right now, and the 20 has been a flying rocket ship most of the race. Is continuing like that. As they work their way through this egg-shaped oval, right around the halfway mark here at Gateway. Look at the lead for the 20. Easily the best car today, and the 11 lost a couple spots. Ethan Hansen gained a couple spots on the restart. He's back up in the position number 3. The 24 had a good stop. Grayson Getz did not have a good stop. He's back into 11th. And look how tight they're racing on these restarts down the back straightaway. It's just once they get going, the racing kind of doesn't get as exciting. The 19 of Addison Stones lost a couple spots on that top lane this lap. So they work their way down the front straightaway, 3 wide there for position number 9. 4 spots gained for William Hansen that time around. Grayson Getz runs 10th, but he's side by side for 9th with last race winner. A big lead for the 20 of Colo Giovanni. He is easily the best car today and definitely the favorite to win. We're at the halfway mark with 2 cautions here so far at Gateway. These cautions make it so the field doesn't get too separated. As we're going to be drag racing pretty soon here down the front straightaway. As Jake Hemmer just ran his fastest lap of the race, 2 laps in a row. He just beat his own fastest lap. The actual fastest lap of the race, surprisingly, isn't JC Colo Giovanni, whose lead is now up to 0.7 of a second. He was actually slower than the 4 and the 3 last time, just because of the power of drafting. They're through turns 3 and 4, lap 31 out of 60. Down the straightaway, though, the 4 is going to ditch him, trying to make a pass on the inside. It's going to pull back up in line. The lead went down about another 1/10 of a second. So you can see the 3 slowly creeping up back there. The 24 and the 11 are fighting for 4th. And then the fight for 6th isn't really a thing right now. Gavin Alabrandi, a really good stop, a really good restart. Put him in a position number 6. It's one of his best runs of the year. Same with the 22. Getz and Addison Stone, 10th and 11th. Very average day for them. The 33, he was involved in that wreck on lap number 1. He restarted in like 28th early in the race. Up into position number 14. How about this comeback? Actually 13th now. So a really good comeback for that 33. Who also came on the last couple of races of the regular season. Not any wins, but good solid runs for that 33 team. And definitely is going to carry some heat in the next season. The 16's also come on lately. The 14 has fallen off. Same with the 88 has fallen off these last couple races. And the Delaney Lombardo started in 12th, dropped all the way to 27th, and now is in pit road. Actually is a lap down, I believe, too. Not yet, but now will be. Back up front. The 3 has caught up to the 20, and so has the 4. I don't know what happened to the 20, but everyone caught up to him. Last couple laps of the 20 hasn't been good. He was the fastest car at the race at the start, but now it almost looks like he has a problem, and he just got blown by the 3. And for the first time in a while, Colo Giovanni is not up front. I think it's only 3 or 4 laps he hasn't led today. But now the pole sitter, Ethan Hansen, is starting to get some of that speed he had in qualifying back. He's back up in the 3rd after restarting in 7th. And the 3, Jake Hemmer, trying to get his first career win. It would be the 4th. It would be the 5th different driver to win in the playoffs, and the 3rd driver to get their first career win in the playoffs. So all these new winners in the playoffs make it really hard for drivers to punch their ticket into the Final 4 race coming up in not too long, couple weeks actually, over in Homestead. As the top 4 cars are top 5 cars super close together, a big gap back to the 42 having a really good run. Of Getz and Addison Stone battling for 11th. Now the 41s joining the party back there. And is actually not going to be able to get the spot. Side by side for 9th, actually 8th now. Getz trying to take that spot from the 22. Into turn number 1, not going to be able to stick it. The 4 and the 20 battling for position number 2. The 3 is out front, but doesn't have anyone to draft. Meanwhile, everyone behind them, like the 2 and the 4 last lap, were faster, so maybe not leading until the last lap is a good thing. Now they're going to go side by side for 2nd. Also the 24 in the background and the 5, and then it's a massive gap, about 2 seconds back to the 42. It's a 5-way battle for the lead. It's lap 38 out of 60 in Gateway. And now the 4 is smoking! And unlucky struggles for the 4 continue. Had a couple terrible races at the start, and he might not make it back to the pits. This thing is very slow, and this might be our 3rd caution of the day. It looks like it's just stuck in the middle of the track. And it will cause a caution. So the same problem the 88 had at Charlotte, an engine failure, happens to the 4. So after not winning a race, maybe it looked like it was going to be finally back to victory lane for the 4 after being one of the best drivers in those test races, but instead he's going to be the 5th car to crash out here at Gateway. The 3 is going to be the leader, but the 20 is going to line up outside of him. It's our 3rd caution of the day here. And Ethan Hansen hasn't retired from the race yet. He's just in the pits. And the winner of the race off pit road was not the 10. That's just a lap car. It actually is the 3. Lap 41, pace car lights still on. What about lap 42? Lights off. There goes the 10, dropping to the back. Will not get in the way. So we're going to go line up double file down the back straightaway. And actually the 20 lost a spot on pit road in his 2nd stop. Now we should be done with pit stops. Most of these guys will be able to make it all the way side by side through turns 3 and 4. It's lap 42 out of 60. We are all ready to go here for our after the 3rd caution of the day. It's been a fun one so far. Lap 42 out of 60. They are double file and they are taking the green flag with 18 laps to go here at Gateway. Into turn number 1. Look at that slingshot up on the top. It was a header issue. They're 3 wide for the lead through turns 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway, the 24 came absolutely out of nowhere. From 3rd on the restart all the way up into possibly 1st. There goes the 20 moving. Grayson Getz also up there in the top 5. A lot of guys just shot out of a cannon on that restart. A lot of guys had really good pit stops, and now the complete leaderboard has shaken. The 20 is barely inside the top 10, and the 24 leads the first lap of the day, not led by the 20 or the 4 or the 3 today. The 3 is very fast though. Look at that run through the corner. Grayson Getz up into 4th. Out of nowhere, hasn't won in a while, but is the points leader. A win here would lock his ticket into the final 4, and he is the heavy favorite to win the championship. But right now, running in 4th, the 24 looks fast. That's another driver in the playoffs looking to punch their ticket. And then the yellow flag is out for a 4th time today, and cautions are breeding cautions. This time it looks like the 43 of Mason Simser has some damage to that left side. And it was it was into the entrance of the corner, something we haven't seen today. The 48 hooked the 88 into the 43. I don't really know if that needed to be a caution. I mean, they definitely have damage, but they weren't really a hazard on the racing surface. But it is the 4th caution of the day, and we're going to go at it again. It's lap 45 out of 60. 4 cautions, a new record so far this season, but it also is a 60-lap race around a very tight track that a lot of these drivers have never raced at before. And a lot of drivers have crashed out of the race, and I just missed about a lap by accident. They went to green earlier than I thought. So we are going to jump back in on lap number 50. We'll just say there was an ad break. Lap 51 out of 60 doesn't look like we missed much. There wasn't a caution, and it's about the same lineup they were at the time of the caution. So lap 51 out of 60 after I skipped a couple laps by accident, I apologize. The 24, the 5, the 11, the 3, the 18, the 22, the 41, the 20, the 16, and the 21 are your top 5. The 21 hasn't had a top 10 much at all this season. Neither has the 22. The 3 having a very solid run in 4th, although the best driver in the league is right on his bumper. The worst car on the track that hasn't wrecked out of the race yet is the 10 of Delaney Lombardo, to the surprise of nobody. That's the 7, the 17, and the 31 struggling. The 48 struggling. You can see the skid marks in turn 3 where the wreck happened. The 11 just put the bumper to the 5, giving him a big push down that straightaway. We're going to start lap 53 out of 60. It looks like one of these 3 drivers will win, and the 5 is the only one who hasn't punched their ticket to the final 4 already, but they've built about a second back to 4th place, the 3, but the 18 is there and also wants to punch his ticket into the final 4. Next time around it'll be 7 laps to go at Gateway. The 11 sending it up the inside. Knows what's at stake here, a spot in the final 4 at Homestead. The 18 still trying to figure out how to get by the 3 as this race has gone on. It's gotten harder to pass. It was 87 degrees when we started the race. It's 86 degrees now and the wind has died down a little bit, so the track has cooled off a little bit, which means there's more grip. So it's harder to slide around, to make these passes happen. Especially with the clouds, the track has probably cooled off a little bit. As now the 18 is there, can he complete the pass? He does, and is going to shoot away from the 3, and now has 3 more cars to pass before punching his ticket into the final 4. He has 6 laps to do it. Last race winner up into the top 5 too. Don't count him out of this yet. Neither the 22. Josh Emmer never won a race before, but very quick. The 20 and the 8 are still very fast. The 20 dominated the first half of the race. The 3 dominated the third quarter of the race, and the 24 has dominated lately. The 5 just made contact again. They're making contact actually, and look at this 18 already. How much closer he is to the leaders. So about 0.3 of a second faster that time because these guys are battling. And the 11 I think is going to get it. The 5 slid up the track and actually opened the door by himself. And now the 11 has 1 more to get. The first 2 drivers are racing for a championship 4 ticket. Will one of them put the bumper to the other one? It'll be 4 laps to go next time around. Back onto the front straightaway. 4 laps to go. The 18 starting to catch up. Will it be enough though? He is 1.08 seconds off the lead. He's getting closer. He was already above the cut line by quite a bit. This will definitely, he's going to be in a must not finish last situation. But for guys like the 2 and the 15, it's going to be a must win. The 31 is going to be right on the bubble, I'm pretty sure. And then the 11 and the 24, and here comes the pass by the 11. Now with 3 laps to go, they're side by side for a championship 4 ticket down the straightaway. The 18 is getting closer, but so is the 41, and don't count him out trying to get his 2nd straight win after not winning a race the entire season. The 18 is there on the 5. How quick will he get by him, and how hard will the 5 race him? Now with 2 laps to go, will the 11 get by the 24? Side by side for the lead again. Can the 11 get him this time? So going to be side by side with 2 laps to go down the front straightaway. 2 laps to go. Now the 5's going to move to the inside. The 5 wants it pretty bad, but I don't know who wants it more. The 11's going to clear the 24, but can the 24 get it back? Down the back straightaway, the 11 clears the 24. I think the 24 is going to have to make his move on the inside. The 5 kind of shoved him into the corner a little bit. But now the 5 is next to the 24, and this might let the 11 drive away a little bit. And now I don't think anyone's going to have a shot in the 11. Now 1 lap to go. Can the 24 get there? Going to need a big run in turn number 1. Didn't get it, and down the back straightaway for the final time. What a race we got treated to today at Gateway with 4 cautions. Does the 24 have one last dive bomb in the tank? No. Was faster than the 11 that lap. Wasn't going to be enough. And off of the final corner, win number 3 of the season for the 11 of Kelsey Hemmer. She punches her ticket to the Championship 4 at Homestead. And second is the 24, third the 18, fourth is the 5, fifth another top 5 run for Will Hansen, 6th Addison Stone, 7th is the 22, 8th JC Cole Giovanni, 9th Jake Hemmer, and 10th is the 16. More notable drivers, a playoff driver, and 11th Ashton Murphy, playoff driver, 16th, the 31 of Daisy Stone, a playoff driver, 29th or 28th Mason Simser, and 30th playoff driver Luca Marina. Those two crashed out of the race. Race 20 of the season. Race 20 or 21 of the season is complete. Race 20 of the season. So there's 2 races to go. Next week, for the second to last race of the season, we head to Michigan. And then for the Championship 4, we head to Homestead before we get a couple weeks off and then back at it for the summer season, which will follow a similar schedule but not exactly the same. It will be Chicagoland for the first race, just like this season. The 11 of Kelsey Hemmer punched her ticket to the Final 4. It was a fun one here at Gateway. We'll find out who else will make the Final 4 next week at Michigan.